Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing Dumb and Dumber 2. Um, this is a movie that up until probably about a few months ago I was looking forward to because mainly I'm a huge fan of Dumb and Dumber, the first one. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time, hands down. In my top five, I love the movie to death. I can still watch it. It's still holds up as a very funny film. It's one of Jim Carrey's best movies. I'm a huge fan of Jim Carrey, still am, and I really I love the film. It's sacred to me. So of course, when I heard that they're making a sequel, I was all kind of for it. I was for it, especially because Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey were both going to be involved in it. And it was a big deal for a lot of people like me because Jim Carrey, if you don't know, he has this kind of rule that he doesn't make sequels to any of his films. The only movie he ever did was Ace Ventura. That's why we got that Dumb and Dumber prequel, is because Jim Carrey wouldn't do a sequel. That's why we got Evan Almighty, all that stuff like that. And he this was a big deal. Like, it's like, holy crap, he's finally going to do a sequel to one of his movies. It's also why we got Son of the Mask, for fuck's sake. Um, all really good examples of like bad things happen when Jim Carrey is not a part of a sequel to one of his movies. But yeah, I was looking forward to it, and even though the Farley brother, I was even happy that the Farley brothers were going to be involved in it, even though they haven't made a good movie in like over 15, 20 years. I still was like, maybe this will be the one movie that will turn around their careers again, make them relevant again. Um, then I got the trailers for this film, and my opinion started to slowly change quickly. um, because the trailers were not selling me on this movie whatsoever. The jokes did not. There were jokes in the trailers that did work for me, but there was a lot that didn't work for me. And I'm just sitting there like, oh boy, this is gonna be a one rough ride. And I like honestly going into this movie, I was kind of dreading going to see this. This was the movie I was dreading the most seeing this year, because I knew if I hated this movie, I was going to, be very angry, and I'd be very pissed off, and I also, but also at the same time, I was crossing my fingers, hoping, in line, even some people were trying to tell me, "Oh, don't worry, it'll be good, it'll be good." Um, I was crossing my fingers, hoping it wasn't going to be that bad. And you know what? This movie fucking sucked. I'm gonna flat out say right now, this movie fucking sucked. End of discussion. Bye. No, I guess I gotta go into why it fucking sucked. But Jesus, this is definitely one of the worst movies of the year, hands down. It's at a 20% Rotten Tomatoes. It should have lower than that. Ow. All right, 20% is about accurate. That's fine, I guess, because there are some redeeming qualities about it. Some, just very few, but okay. But this movie was shit. It's as bad as it's. If you're one of those people like me that was like, ah, oh, fuck, thinking that this movie's gonna suck, it does. It sucks as bad as the trailers make it out to be, and even worse. Um, my main if I were to actually, my main problem with this movie is that it basically, that this is, I'm not joking here, it basically takes all the really great jokes from the original that you know and love, like, and copy and paste them and put them right into this movie. They recycle every fucking great joke that you saw in the first one, even to the point that a lot of pretty much all the major plot points from the original are in this movie too, except just remove remove the main characters from the first one, put new ones in there, just with different characters. It's basically the same fucking plot almost, to the point that it ends the exact same way. Like, what do I mean when I say like what major jokes or in this movie that we're in the first one, you got, there's a reference to, oh, what's the second most annoying sound you ever heard? You want to know what the most, or the second, or what the second most annoying sound? Or there's fucking, this was one of the only bright points. I guess this is just me trying to find something funny out of this movie, but the blind kid Billy from the first one pops up in this movie. The actual kid from the first one actually pops up all grown up. And there's a few funny scenes where they're messing with that poor kid. That was the only thing that actually worked for me. Also, if you've seen the poster and you see that you see them driving, the poster is them driving the what the hell, that Muttmobile. You know what? Guess what? You know that you've probably seen it in the trailers too. That's only a minute of the movie. That's it. No joke. This is how it goes. They just randomly talk about, oh, I think the guy that we sold the Muttmobile to lives here. Just out of nowhere, it's mentioned that, and they find a Muttmobile out of fucking nowhere, and then they drive it and then wreck it, and then that's the end of it. That's it. That scene you see them driving it, they instantly wreck it, and there you go. And they're sitting there like, oh, for fuck's sake, what the fuck was the point of that? Other than, let's just put this in for the fuck of it. And Rob Riggle tags along with them in this movie, like the Hitman did in the first one. Like, and he is being annoyed by them, and it's like basically the same fucking character trying to kill Harry and Lloyd and unsuccessfully doing it because of Harry and Lloyd's stupid antics. It's fucking copy and paste. It's just, it's the laziest form of fucking comedic writing you could ever fucking see. It is terrible. And it also, if I'd be fine with that maybe if the jokes worked, but they don't this time. It's like they forgot like what made the jokes work in the first time around. They fucking completely forgot about it. They also, oh god, I gotta talk about the one thing that pissed me off the most. Oh my god. They also copy the Harry and Lloyd daydreaming scenes from the first one. You know, the scenes where, especially Lloyd, where he's dreaming about his future with Mary Swanson. There's scenes like that in this movie. Both Harry and Lloyd both have scenes where they're daydreaming about like their future, and Lloyd is trying to. He's daydreaming that he gets with Harry's daughter, which is creepy enough. But that's the whole plot of the movie, is that Harry's trying to find his long lost daughter so he can get a kidney because he needs a kidney transplant. That's the plot. Anyways, he's daydreaming about his, or going to Harry's house and picking up the daughter for a date, and he goes up to Harry's house, which is a trailer park, and can you guess who the fuck opens the door? Take one fucking wild guess. I guarantee you won't guess it. Honey Boo Boo's mother. I am not fucking joking. Honey Boo Boo's mother has a cameo in this movie. And I sat there in the theater going, why? 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 Like, I literally was yelling it. Like, that's not fucking funny. That's stupid. Why the fuck is Honey Boo Boo's mom doing it in a fucking Dumb and Dumber movie? That is retarded. No. It's like, fuck this shit. That should tell you, like, that's jumping the shark if I've ever fucking seen a movie do that. At that point, I just fucking just tuned out, like, zoned out from the rest of this movie. I was so annoyed by the fact that they just put Honey Boo Boo's mother in a fucking... oh, yeah. Apparently, originally, was it Jennifer Lawrence was supposed to be in this movie? She isn't in this movie, but they kept fucking Honey Boo Boo's mother in there. Are you fucking serious? Really? I'm like, what the fuck? Um, God damn it! You can see where Jennifer Lawrence is the younger version of Kathleen Turner. Uh, and yeah, she's the younger version. She's supposed to play the younger version of Kathleen Turner, the mom of the daughter. Um, and she, and you can see scenes where you see the back of the younger version of Kathleen Turner's head, but you don't see her face. You could tell that was where Jennifer Lawrence was supposed to be, but then I don't know, for some reason she ended up not being in it. Um, I, 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 I forgot to read why she's not in this movie, but I'm sitting there like, fuck. That's like, I was so annoyed by that. I was so pissed. And then also things that, in general, as much as I love Jim Carrey and I love Jeff Daniels, I didn't I really did not like them in this movie. They were not that good in this movie. And I like Jim Carrey in most things. I thought he was bad in this one. It's like, it's really weird seeing these two old guys doing the same antics that they did 20 years ago when they were younger. And it's kind of just juvenile to see like these two middle-aged men doing that. And then also fucking the daughter, I really annoyed me in this movie. She's trying to be the female version of Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, and it doesn't fucking work. She doesn't work one bit. She doesn't know the word subtlety. She doesn't know what subtlety is in comedy. What was, if that's one of the problems with this movie in general, is like they don't know what the subtleties of the fucking original, what was so subtle about the comedies and the jokes in the original. Fuck, I fucking hate this movie. Kathleen Turner, I will say, was actually pretty funny in this movie. She actually was probably was the best part. I will say that. If I was going to give anybody credit, I would say Kathleen Turner actually was great. I like Kathleen Turner. It's sad you don't see her much anymore in movies, and it's kind of fun to see her in this. Also, there were jokes here and there that did work. Yeah, I'll agree. The one that I actually thought worked the most was the payoff to the kidney transplant at the end. That actually was pretty funny, even though I could kind of predict what was going to happen. But because you can see all these jokes come a mile away because they were from the first. Most of them are fucking from the first one. So I mean, these jokes like. Oh, and by the way, it also didn't help. I was in front of it was in the theater. I was in a packed theater, and this crowd was fucking annoying. They thought this movie was the funniest thing they've ever seen in their entire life. So apparently I'm in a minority. I just sat there stone-faced the whole fucking time watching this thing. Like, I would chuckle once or twice, and that was about it. God, this movie. Oh, this movie. I'm glad I didn't do this review right after I got out of the theater because I was pretty pissed off. I kind of cooled down after a while after I got home. This movie, I hated this movie. Oh, man. I had a streak of seeing good movies, and I knew when this movie was coming up, I said I'm probably going to end this streak of good movies by seeing this one. And Birdman's finally came to a theater near me, and I should have went and saw that instead. God damn it, this piece of shit. God damn it. I don't know. All I else have to talk about is the fucking trailers. I only got 2 new ones, and both of them look like shit. Movies that look like shit. Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. I never really cared for the first 2 Night at the Museum movies, and I'm not going to see the movie just because of it being one of Robin Williams' last movies. I'm not seeing it. Sorry, I won't. As much as I love Robin Williams, I will still not see it because, I mean, it's going to be a shitty movie one way or another. And then also I got a fucking sequel. There's a sequel to Paul Blart Mall Cop. Fuck me. Because that's all. Because Kevin. It's basically the same jokes from that movie. I've only seen bits of that movie. And the jokes from that movie are, oh, Kevin Smith, or yeah, was it Kevin? Not Kevin Smith. Kevin. God damn, what that kid? What's that guy's name? God damn it, I can't remember off the top of my head. I said Kevin Smith. That's pretty funny. Why is his name? But yeah, the guy from the original, just, he's fat, and that's why it's so funny. He's so clumsy and fat. Ha ha ha. Fuck off. He's no Chris Farley. Chris Farley did that same shtick, and he was way good. He's one of my favorite comedians. But yeah, he's no fucking Chris Farley. Not even fucking close. I hated this movie. I was kind of in a bad mood after watching this movie. But you know what? I'm gonna get off here. I don't have much else to talk about. Dumb and Dumber 2 was stupid. Don't see it. Go see Interstellar. Go see Big Hero 6. Go see anything other than this. Don't make this movie help make this movie make money. Don't, please. So we can maybe fucking get oh, by the way, I'm gonna say something that's gonna get some people pissed off, but I'm gonna say this right now. I'd rather watch the fucking prequel to Dumb and Dumber than watch this piece of shit ever again. Oh yeah, I said it. I'm not fucking watching this ever again. I would rather watch the prequel again. I think the prequel is way better. Yeah, is you know what? I knew going in that movie was probably gonna be shit, and it had. I mean, there was no way that movie was not gonna be shit. This movie should have been good, but it was fucking a failed missed opportunity. This movie pissed me off more than the fucking prequel did. The prequel actually didn't really make me mad. I knew what I was getting when I saw that movie. So I mean, I wasn't shocked when that movie was a horrible movie. So fuck it. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I might be back in the next few days with a few other reviews, but if not, I'll be back Friday with what the hell? Oh, Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1. Yeah, that should be good. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later.